Yo, what's good, people? Give intro right here. I'm doing Bleach, chapter 631, review, thoughts, just general ideas. Anyway, this chapter is a huge deal because these last few weeks have been kind of sort of build up chapters. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. So, and I honestly, I thought the week before was kind of going to be, or even 2 weeks before was kind of like going to start off some greatness. But I thought 631 was the real freshness that I wanted to see. At first, I was like, okay, whatever. I think it starts out. It starts out flashback, or it starts out with Basby and Hashwell fighting, and wasn't really hyped for that fight. I didn't think they'd fight at all. I was like, what's going on? But then it went into flashbacks, and I was thinking. I was throwback to the pendulum in like ages ago when that hit. I did not realize like how good of a flashback that was. I thought it was like, oh, this is kind of long. It's like already week 5. I didn't really care, but thinking back on it, like that's a huge deal. And this 1,000 years ago. Also, Pendulum was like out of the blue too. Well, kind of. It was mostly out of the blue too. Like this 1,000 years ago this is a hyped up flashback. This is what everyone's been talking about. Everyone wants to know. It's like kind of sets the tone, sets the stage for the rest of the series. It's a huge deal. And like we go into Basby and Hashwell flashback. Immediately, tons of ideas. Just come to my head. I'm like, wow. I'm like, whoa. I gotta get into this. So, basically, I do 631. I'm also going to talk about Liltotto a little bit because I like that character a lot. I think she's so cool. She's kind of like under recognized. She has like 10 scenes. I mean, not a lot that's going on with character. I thought she was probably like the least. Or because when all her and her 4 friends showed up on the scene at first, I mean none of them stood out to me as a thing. They were all I was like whatever, more Quincy's because we had like 30 Quincy's, 20, 28 or something. But thinking back and looking back at a lot of these chapters, I thought she's actually like a real cool character. So I'm gonna go into that right now. Basically, and actually, I'm going to talk about the underground stuff. What I think, what I mean because I predicted a year ago that Liltotto is gonna become not only live, but become an ally, potentially. And I was glad to see that happen, but I'm going to put my thoughts into it. Let me show you guys my thoughts. And I mean, who knows? Maybe she will live. Maybe she'll not. Like, I think some of the Fullbringers live too. And I mean, it's a common thing in just manga, shonen in general. So that's no big deal. But basically, go back to when Bambietta was originally on the scene when she was first shown. Now this is important because when she was first shown. Well, the first thing she did that stood out to me, at least, I don't have the chapters, but basically she was going around like a bunch of the Quincy's. It was the first invasion. She was going around just lopping people's heads off, just killing them, and that really stood out to me because it kind of establishes her as a dominant, powerful, in command. She knows what she's doing, like leader type of character. And so that's the impression I got, and actually that's. It's kind of the impression I got with a lot of Quincy's, but that impression was like really reinforced when the rest of her friends. I don't want to call them friends because we all know what happened, but yeah, when her squad showed up, then that question of like who's the leader of the squad, I was like, oh, it's Bambi, obviously it's Bambietta, but I mean. We saw that not happen. Bambietta died, and like I mean, if you guys remember the fight with Komamura and Bambi, not amazing fight, like phenomenal fight. Everyone should reread it, but also a really great fight. Not just in the sense that it was cool and stuff, but it's cool to see how Bambi's character changes from character who like shows up on the scene just slicing people. No, doesn't care about them, doesn't care about death, just killing everyone. And then dying. Komamura, who's an undead. She dies to that death factor, and then she becomes herself undead. So it's an interesting thing going on, but that's just separate. Also, that was not my idea originally. I was reading somewhere in a forum. Someone came up with that. Can't give shout outs, but if you're watching, I give you shout outs right now because good stuff. Basically, when Bambi's squad comes up on the scene, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. All right, I hope you guys can see this. Basically, Bambi, I don't know what she's doing with the dude. I don't know if she does the dirty deed with the guy or not, but she kills like some subordinate kind of randomly. And then I have the next chapter too. Oh, actually, it's back here. Yeah, look at this. Geez, you always make such a big mess when you do it, right? Who's saying that? Go back here. Now her squad shows up. So this, to me, it kind of tells me that she's the leader, right? She's the leader of the group. She's the one that's important. She's had the most screen time. She's kind of arrogant or whatever. You're one to talk. So who's talking to her? Go to the next page. Spilling sweets and pools of blood are two different things, you bitch. We got Liltotto. Haven't you at least thought about doing it outside? We got, Minnie Ness. And then they all have the retorts. They're all like talking smack. Which further makes it like they're all the same. I mean, like when this scene happens, all these characters are kind of like they're all the same character, like they're unimportant, they're just random extra sternness because there's so many of these Quincy's that it's like a lot of them aren't valuable. Like a lot of them just died in the first fight off screen, or Kenpachi just soloed 3 dudes like that. A lot of them are fodder, and so it kind of like establishes all 4 of these as like a unit or as fodder. But what it's interesting, like looking back at this page, and that's originally what I thought, and I think a lot of people will agree with me, but looking back at this page, notice who calls out, like, look at Liltotto's panel. She actually calls out Bambi, and I mean, that's exactly what this right here is talking about, and why I think that's cool. It's unique. All of them are talking smack, but these two are mainly talking to each other. And also, the other reason is because go back to when Bambietta dies, right? Or not dies, becomes like when her character, gets reestablished as the she like gets turned into a zombie, right? Go back to that. Komamura basically just slaps her, she blows herself up or something. Oh yeah, that's the other cool part about Bambi's death. She does it to herself. Like Komamura doesn't even do anything. So it's an interesting fight. But go back. Check this out. This is right before her fight. Right before her fight. She's looking for a Komamura. And then in this panel, which is really interesting, she's like, why am I here alone? Because she loses her squad, right? She's the leader. She loses her, she loses, where's the group to, follow her, right? And then check this panel right here. Liltotto, it was you, wasn't it? Yeah, who the hell was it that said we'd move in unison? Liltotto, it was you, wasn't it? See, I'm already thinking like, now I'm thinking like who's the leader of this squad? I mean, okay, is there a leader? There might just not be a leader, but who's the leader? And I mean, to me, it kind of looks like Liltotto is the leader because she's calling Bambi out. She said they go in unison. The tricky thing is Komamura doesn't kill Bambi at all. Bambi may have, died of blood loss or something. That doesn't usually happen. I don't know if that happens in Bleach a whole lot. So why that's especially interesting is because this panel was a big deal for me. Too, I thought it was a cool panel, but this is what she's turned into a zombie, and it's Bambi that's turned into a zombie. So like, it's the Quincy that kills Bambi, not the Shinigami. And who suggested that? Like, who? Well, my point is with the previous panel that has Liltotto's head. It suggests that Liltotto actually got her to go alone, and then to lose the Komamura to turn them into a zombie. So that's those are the two things that like kind of stood out. Also, just look at like her dialogue. A lot of her dialogue with Minnie and the rest of the her Sternators. When Ichigo comes to them, Liltotto is a character that says, "Oh, he's worth a lot." You know, we get a lot of recognition or something where I don't remember the details, but she's the one who says that. So she was the one with the knowledge and the power. And she's the one that's seen. That's all in hindsight. Or no, looking back at all this in hindsight, it makes a lot of sense. Like the information we have now. Candy died. Like that was the other thing. If Bambi dies, it says that Bambi's not the leader, even though we thought Bambi was the leader. So it's like, who is the leader? This is a big question. If you ask me, Minnie's not the leader. Minnie-ness, there's no way it's not happening. I just come on. So I mean, Candy's the second. Candace, she's the second in command. People would think, but she died too. And Menina, I mean, I guess Menina is out of MIA, or I think she died. Like, it's sad, but it's just how it is. So it's either Gigi or Liltotto, and I still think most people think it's Gigi Giselle, because Giselle's the devious one. Giselle actually did turn her into a zombie, and all that good stuff. So, and it obviously, I mean, who said why is there a leader? Why would a leader be important? The reasons I think all this is important is because this led to the idea that there were the Quincy's. I mean, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of a given that the Quincy's some of them would, ally with the Shinigami and turn against Jubak. I think it's kind of a given. So I was like, who is it going to be? And I said Bazby and Liltotto because I said Liltotto for all these reasons. And I said Bazby for similar reasons. There's one other thing I got to talk about. Bazby's just a cool character. He seems like a standout guy. He's really strong. But also because both of those characters have no confirmed kills on Shinigami, and actually they have multiple confirmed kills, or basically confirmed kills on Quincy's, which is that's like a. If you think about it, like they're not even really like look at Bazby's. I'll talk about Liltotto first because I'm more refreshed. Liltotto. See, I don't. It's hard to say that Liltotto killed Bambi. So also she did kill the fodder Shinigami, but she killed Menina and she killed Pepe. So she has two straight up just Okos, and then Bazby same way. Bazby shot fire through all the female Sternators, and when they're fighting Ichigo, and then he did two other things. I think I can't quite remember. It's not too important. I know he has other feats. He had other feats against Quincy's, and he has nothing on the Shinigamis. When he fought Toshiro, he didn't kill Toshiro. He let Toshiro go by, and then Kangdu tried to do it. So I mean, there's this he's not. They haven't actually done anything to the Shinigamis. I mean, again, you could suggest that Liltotto did kill those fodder Shinigami. It's like, okay, whatever, it's fair. But so I thought those two would for sure go through. I actually thought Gigi would not go through. I think Gigi. I don't know. I didn't like Gigi's character once she turned everyone into zombies. But she did go through. So, also the big reason I bring all that up, I have to say all that is because the chapter was entirely a flashback, and that flashback suggested so much with the dialogue between Bazby and Hashwell. at the end there when they say they're on a mission to kill JB. You know, like that's huge. You know, so my other questions: are we gonna get backstory on Liltotto? Are we gonna get backstory on Giselle? Are we gonna get backstory on like Ryukin? How long is this flashback gonna go? Back to the Pendulum was 13 chapters, I think. That's 3 months. Like this could go on for a while, and I mean, it'd be really cool if it did. So, and it also sets the tone. I've been saying for a long time, and it's it's a common theme. I've been saying for a long time though, there's gonna be kind of a change in who's an ally and who's an enemy soon, and this backstory sets the pace for that. And Hashwell's supposed to kill Juhabak. Isn't he his right hand man? That was the plan from the get go. Like, so really great chapter. And then that's what I'm talking about. All the flashback stuff, or all the stuff in the past. Just the dynamics of the Quincy's. I think the Quincy's. There's a few cool Quincy's. Yeah. Also, I would not be surprised if Liltotto and Giselle and Basby just turn into fodder. I mean, like, come on, it happens pretty much. I mean, at some point, like every character in the series is just going to be irrelevant, and then they'll have Ichigo and Jubak, and I don't know, maybe Aizen or something. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what Aizen's purpose in the story is right now. So I think it'd be sad because I think there's a lot. These Quincy's, there's so many of them, and a lot of them don't have backstory. Like I want to see a lot of these characters' backstories established, evolved. Because they're cool characters. So that's part of why I think this chapter is a huge deal. Anyway, it's a really good chapter too. It's just cool. It's cool to see Basby. Also, Basby. We knew he's strong, but I didn't know how strong he was, and it sounds like he's real tough. So that's all I got to say about Bleach 631. Amazing chapter. I'm extremely excited for next week. I think it's going to be flashback still, or in old school 1,000 years ago. This is okay. Yeah, that's one other thing. How long ago is this? Because he said Juhabak's 200 years old. Basby's alive, and they haven't gotten the Soul Society yet. So how old is Basby? Like, 1,200 years, 1,300. And I don't know. In relative Shinigami years, I don't think that's that old, but it's really interesting. It's good stuff to think about. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Coming out next week too. Probably. I'll see you guys later.